Hello and welcome back to my video blog. But today we are doing top 10 authors / books, that sort of thing. This is the second time I've had to actually record this because the first time my computer went, "Oh, wouldn't it be great if the video and the audio didn't match whatsoever." So here's hoping round number 2 will go better than round number 1. Okay, let's kick this off. Number 1, we have probably one of my favourite authors so far. Kelly Armstrong. She's released about over 20 books, definitely over 20 books. The first 13 of her books are in the Women of the Other World series, where, you know, you got the whole werewolves, vampires, sorcerers, witches, shamans, all that jazz. Really good series of books. I've been reading that series for at least 5 years now, being the 21-year-old that I currently am. She also has another series called Darkest Powers. She also has another series called Darkness Rising. Both are in the same universe as the Women of the Other World. She also has a completely different series. It's a detective series rather than a fantasy series. Follows on through Nadia Stafford. Yeah, it's no fantasy whatsoever. It's purely a crime novel series thing going on. I have the first book ready to read, but I just haven't read it yet because I'm the biggest crime book fan, but I'm going to try and get into it probably this summer. But yeah, number 1, Kelly Armstrong. Look her up, she's awesome. Number 2, we have Trudy Canavan. The series of hers that I enjoy most are the Black Magician trilogy. As you can probably guess from the title, it's all about magicians. Sort of like the magical sort of world. But no, it's a really good book. It's a really good trilogy. There's also another trilogy after it. I haven't read that one yet. Again, I've got the first book, I just haven't really read it yet. I've got a big pile of books to work my way through, hopefully this summer. She also has another one about High Priestess. Priestess of the White, that's the one I'm talking about. Again, I have the first book of that one. I have a lot of first books in trilogies, I just never get around to reading them because I've got so much other stuff to do. It is ridiculous. Yeah, Black Magician trilogy is the first one she did. It was really, really good. That followed on another 3. First one I think is called Ambassador's Mission. Again, I've started it, haven't finished it yet. I recommend more the Black Magician trilogy, which is my personal favourite. I apologise for the fan noise of my laptop. It's very, 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 very annoying. Trying to do too much stuff at once. I'm going to try closing some things down actually. The less it has to do, the less noise it will make. Close you down. Bear with me. Close you. I'm going to try and save you. Hurry up, you stupid piece of shit. There you go, I think that'll do. At number 3 we have Ian Irvine. He called it a trilogy, but yeah, it's 4 books. But that's the only problem I have with it. I hadn't finished all of it because being quite young at the time of reading, I think I was a little bit dismissive. But I remember it being very good, very descriptive in everything you needed to know. So I remember it creates very vivid images in my head, which is really good to help you picture it and follow the story and other such things. Geomancer was the first book. I'd highly recommend you go out and get this trilogy of 4 books. He has another set of books. Again, I have the first one, but it's set in the exact same universe, but with just following different characters. I think it's also the same story, but just from the different perspective of the characters in that original series of books. The next one, I'm sure everybody knows, it's George R.R. Martin, writer of Game of Thrones. First of all, if you have seen the TV series of it but not read the books, shame on you. The books are amazing. But also, if you've read the books but not seen the TV series, I highly recommend you watch the TV series as well, because the TV series very much holds true to the books. There are some differences, obviously, because you have to make it different for TV. But the biggest difference I've seen is different timeline. But they try and do the TV series, put everything in chronological order as it happens. Whilst in the book it just jumps from different narrator to different narrator. Also, different lines in the book are being said by different characters in the TV series. Like a line of Bran's would be said by Rob, not even at the same time, but at a different point in the story. But it suits it. It suits the situation it's in when it's finally said. Really good book. I like the fact you follow different narrators. Gives you a different perspective from the different people, different sides, if you will. I'd highly recommend these books. Again, I only read the first one, thinking they are chunky bastards. So I'm going to get the second one as soon as I possibly can and start that one. George R. R. Martin, Game of Thrones, is the first book. Clash of Kings, I think, is the second book. There are loads of books, I'm not going to name them all. Look it up yourself. At number 4, we have Maria V. Snyder. A very good author. Very good author. Very good writer, I should really say. The first trilogy she writes is the Study trilogy. There it goes. Poison Study, Magic Study, Fire Study. As you can probably guess, magic's involved. But it's good. I really like it. It's really, really good. I don't know what to say about it, really. Because it is just a good book, good trilogy, and she also writes another trilogy afterwards. Same, like, universe, different protagonist. It's someone you meet in the original trilogy. It's all in chronological order. Follows on from each other. It's just protagonist switch from the first trilogy to the second trilogy. I prefer the first trilogy, but that's not saying anything bad about the second trilogy. Second trilogy, very, very good. But I just prefer the first one. That's just my personal preference. Ooh, laptop's quieting down. Maria V. Snyder, that's my number 5. Number 6, we have the book Night Watch. It's also been made into a film, which I haven't seen yet. I should. But the book is very, very good. Not quite finished, I'm like 2/3 of the way through. But my lord, is it good. It's all about vampires, proper vampires. Well, I'll say proper vampires. Better vampires than Twilight, basically. Let's face it, Twilight's not going to be in my top 10. But no, it's a really, really good book. I'd highly recommend you go and get it. It's by some Russian dude. I don't want to mispronounce his name. I'm just going to type the name down here, and you can look it up. I'm not going to risk saying it and sound like a freaking idiot. So yeah, Night Watch, buy it. I'm also going to buy Day Watch next, and then Twilight Watch, I think, is the third one. Well, it might be a different order, but I'm going to buy them as soon as I finish Night Watch. Number 7, the book is Wolf's Angel by M.D. Lakian. I, again, will put the I'll put the name down here, and you can just look it up for yourself. But no, it's a really, really good book. It goes back to the Vikings and their kind of relationship with the werewolf thing. Haven't actually got that far into it, but what I have read is really, really good. So yeah, look up this guy and buy the book. It's really, really worth it. It's a really new book, but again, it's really, really worth it. So go and buy it. Number 8, we have J.V. Jones. I remember reading these books when I was younger. I'm talking like 11, 12 sort of age, so I was very, very naive as a young reader / writer. But looking back at them now, they are really, really good books. I remember getting very confused by the multiple narrators, but I'm getting used to this now because obviously I've read Game of Thrones, as I said before, had multiple narrators. I'm getting used to the whole multiple narrator thing, so I'm going to go back and read them again. But what I do remember of J.V. Jones's books, of the books that he'd written, I remember having Cavern of the Black Ice and Baker's Boy, both book ones of their own trilogies. But I remember them being very good. I remember being more partial to the Cavern of the Black Ice, but the Baker's Boy was just as good. I think it was the Baker's Boy. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was. I stopped reading that though because the book got damaged and I couldn't really read it anymore, which was a shame. I'm going to have to buy it again. Yeah, J.V. Jones, good author, good books, get and buy them. My number 9 is going to be William Nicholson. I've read these books at a very young age. I remember thoroughly enjoying them. The first one is, as you might know, The Wind Singer. The second book in the trilogy is Slaves of the Mastery, and the third one is Fire Song. I remember liking Fire Song most. That says nothing about the other two. The other two were very good for their own reasons, but I just remember being more partial to Fire Song. I don't know any of his other works, but that trilogy I remember being very good. So, look it up. I recommend buying it. At number 10, we come to number 10, the final book / author in my video blog. James Clemens is my final author of the day. The first book of the series is called Witchfire, and it's part of the Banned and Banished series of books. Again, I've read the first one, currently reading the second one at home, which is, I do believe, called Witch Storm. I'm going to have to look this up. Otherwise I'll look like an idiot. Pretty sure that's number 2. But anyway, the first one's called Witchfire. The second one I think is called Witch Storm. It's a really, really good book. Again, it's all about magic and that kind of thing. As you can probably tell, I like my magic and sci-fi fantasy books. Yeah, it's just me. It's a really, really good book. I haven't read it for a number of years. I stopped halfway through the second book because I got distracted by university and other such things. But I will definitely go back and reread them probably. hopefully this summer. I hope to do a lot of reading this summer, and I could come back next academic year with another one of these, an updated version, if you will. So hopefully, should be good. So that's it for my top 10 books. I hope you enjoyed it. If you want to see another one of my top 10s, I have a top 10 video games, which should be somewhere down here on the list of videos, hopefully. But yeah, let me know what you think. Please comment. I'm always looking for some feedback. So yeah, subscribe to see more of my videos. Thank you very much, and I'll see you next time. Okay, number 3, we have Ian Irving, or Irvine, yeah, sorry. Number 3, we have Ian Irvine, Irvine, At number 3, we have Ian Irvine. At number 4, we have Maria Svi. What the feck? So that's it. I have another top 10 if you fancy having a gander. It's top 10 video games. It should be somewhere here on the right somewhere. That's not the right, that's the left, because the aspect is backwards, for fuck's sake. So that's it from me. If you want to watch my top 10 video games, it should be some...